All right, Steve, here we go. Winds in the east, mist coming in, like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store. Doing the accent. But I fear what's to happen, all happened before. Start of Mary Poppins. Why am I reading that?
Oh, I don't know. You're a big Dick Van Dyke fan? A fan of bad dialects in famous movies? I don't know.
Can't put me finger on what lies in store. Mary Poppins, because our wind has gone around. We've swung around to the monsoon.
Okay, it's a bit of a stretch, but I see what you're doing.
And it's not winds in the east, it's
the seasons have changed. Yes.
So the wind has swung around to the west and southwest. We've had the rain. Just about every day we've had a little bit of rain.
It's grey and wet every day.
And but it hasn't sort of started getting sort of moist and humid, so everywhere you go slosh, slosh, slosh. But it'll get like that over the next few months. But we just still have plenty of sunshine. So it's not like this all the time.
Yeah.
But what does the arrival of the monsoon mean to you, Steve?
Don't wear white after Labor Day? Is that it? I don't know. It means that I will ride the bicycle less often, because it's uncomfortable being out there 10 kilometers deep in the mangroves with no shelter, and it's suddenly just dumping down rain. So I will walk on the beach and pick up trash, but I will ride the bicycle less frequently.
Well, this is your time of the year.
This is my time of year, man. This is when there's trash on the beach. Because Steve is happy.
The southwest swell washes in the cigarette lighters.
Well, and I found a white pawn, a chess piece, a white pawn 3 days ago. I have not found a chess piece, in maybe 6 months. I've got 18 now chess pieces and 14 to go, I think, to make my
whole
chess board.
set.
Yeah. And I'm really excited. That's the holy grail.
I thought you were saying
Beachcombing.
You were watching white porn. I thought, okay, that's all right.
Well, that too.
Good luck.
If it rains a lot, I stay in the house and find things to do.
When you were in the US thinking, okay, I'm going back to Thailand, you'd booked your ticket, did you have in your mind that you were going to be beachcombing and making turtles out of...
No,
that was very organic.
Not at all, yeah. And I don't remember, people ask fairly frequently. My friend John Williams came with another friend, Charlie Whiskey, yesterday, and came and had coffee at the house.
Charlie Whiskey?
Charlie Whiskey.
He's had a go at me a few times.
Yeah, he's a Phuket guy, and an American, and he asked me, what was the question?
Do you watch white porn?
Yeah, where'd you get the idea? Where'd you get the idea? And I said, I don't know, because I don't remember having the idea. I don't remember a moment when I said, I'm going to collect these lighters, and then a moment when I said, don't touch the table, Steve, when I said, I'm going to start gluing these to pool toys and make statues of turtles and give them away to friends and restaurants and stuff. I don't remember those steps. I just seem to have appeared here doing this in process, but I sure enjoy it. I love the hell out of it, and it's exercise. Gets me out on the beach almost every day. So and this time of year is really wonderful because it's not too hot. The beach gets very hot most of the year.
Sure. So what were you going to do before you decided to
write the great expatriate novel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna relaunch my writing career in Thailand, but for whatever reason, since coming here, I have not felt the urge to write a single sentence.
Well, you found another way to communicate using, thank you, Mr. YouTube.
Well, I haven't made a video in a year, but
that was a great vent for you.
The turtles are a way to communicate with my neighbors. The people that we live among don't know from YouTube, don't know from English language YouTube, certainly don't watch this. Our neighbors and friends here in town don't watch this.
Neither does anybody else, for that matter.
Well, perhaps not. None of them has ever read a book by Steve Ross. So if I want to communicate with the people who are important in my life right now, it's through these turtles and through being seen every day on the beach picking up trash. I get thumbs up from strangers 10 times a day. And so for the purposes of my life right now, I don't need to get paid for how I spend my time. I can spend my time doing anything I want. And this is just how I spend my time.
So
Thank you for your interest, by the way. I do appreciate
Well, I've got to fill the hour somehow.
Yeah.
So this is Grumpy Old Men, by the way. Steve Ross does this with me each week. He does have 5 books, and you can access them on Amazon. Mm-hmm. One of them's actually a real book. The other ones are pretend books.
No. There are 4 available for e-readers. They used to be on paper, but people aren't publishing on paper anymore. And 1 print on demand, the most recent book called Leaving Thailand, you can get in a paper copy.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's a link in the description. Now, people going, I don't know how to find a link with the description thing. So if you're watching on TV, 1, we're blurry because we're using the webcam, and 2, it's sort of down there and you can't access it. So you need to watch it on a phone or a computer, and then you can actually.
Or you can just go to Amazon and put in my name, Steve Ross, R-O-S-S-E, just like any other author.
There you go.
And it'll take you to my books. Other Goodreads, I think I'm on Goodreads, and what are some other book sites? I forget. Somebody found a copy of a book called It's Still Just Sex, Guys, which I wrote and then took off the market. It was on the market for about a year. And it's just a bunch of essays slamming sexpats, just making fun of the guys who sit around in bars all day.
Now we all want to read that.
And well, yeah, people did want to read it, but those guys got very, very angry at me. This is a 15-year-old book. And so I took it off the market because it pissed off, a lot of those guys are my friends, and it pissed off that particular segment of the market. So I took it off, but somebody found it for sale and bought it and downloaded it. I don't know. But yeah, just put in my name, R-O-S-S-E-E, and there you go.
That market that you mentioned, is that market getting bigger or smaller? I'm starting to think that it's either slowly moving out of Thailand to I don't know where, or it's just getting smaller generally.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the easy access of online porn. I don't know.
Perhaps. I think certainly here in Thailand, the sexpat and the sex tourist are dwindling out. I think young men have way more choices of how to spend their vacation dollars. And the whole thing is kind of soured internationally. 35 years ago, a lot of the writers writing in Thailand were celebrating that lifestyle. These guys were heroes. These guys who gave up life in the West and came out to spend their days in an opium den in Haiphong or something. That was romantic. That was seen, that Lord Jim kind of quality. And the guys you met were all very enculturated, very assimilated. They spoke Thai. They ate
I enjoyed
Thai
that
food.
movie, by the way.
Which movie is that?
Lord Jim.
Lord Jim, yes.
Yes.
That's a really interesting treatment of the expatriate experience. But now there's no romance involved. These guys are in a much harsher light and seen in not as glowing terms.
I think also that the people on the other side of that particular story, which are the bar girls, if you like, they're smartened up, and they are sort of seen as pariahs, and taking advantage of those people. And maybe sort of industrializing the whole, extracting money from those people.
Certainly westernizing it. The bar scene, the commercial sex industry in Thailand is a whole lot closer to what it is in Las Vegas, or I suppose Amsterdam, or anywhere in the West now. All of the quaintness, all of the charming country girls fresh off the farm who would wash your laundry before they left in the morning, that's all gone. And the women in the business now, from my limited experience over the last 3 years, are much more businesslike and professional, and get in, get the money, get out. And all of the charm and the sort of romance of it is long gone.
I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about that, but that's the way that's the way I see it. Yeah. By the way, you asked me during the week if I'd been deleting any of your comments. when you replied. I haven't deleted any of your comments.
No. I think there's some kind of algorithm now.
Oh, sure.
I use a lot of expletives in my comments.
Oh.
And I think if I start with, the machine just takes that out.
Well, they've probably just ruined our program today.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, as our Canadian friends say. But yeah, I get comments, they just disappear. And then if I don't put that expletive at the beginning, they stay, they remain.
So, well, usually when I want to use an expletive, but I'll be very polite, I'll go, "Oh, good Lord." And off I go.
By gracious.
Speaking of all this, one thing that keeps on coming up when I'm talking about people going to perhaps go and live in Vietnam or Malaysia or something, that they say, "Oh, there's something about Thailand," and they sort of describe the vibe or the magic. Or another person sent a message yesterday saying the allure. And they said that, and I've said it myself, it's hard to put your finger on exactly what it is when you wake up in the morning and you think, "Oh, I'm very happy or grateful to be living in this country because of je ne sais quoi, this somehow hidden secret quality." What is it? Why do we like waking up in this country? It is something difficult to describe.
It is, and I am not perhaps qualified to comment on this because I'm here because I fell in love with this place in 1988, and everything I fell in love with in 1988 is long gone. But I still want to live here. I'm still happy every day I wake up that I am here.
Because?
I don't know. Because for 25 years I dreamed of coming back to Thailand and living here. And I have made that dream come true. I've never lived anywhere else. It's Iowa and Thailand. That's it for me. Well, New York City. But I wanted to come here. I planned for 25 years, I dreamed for 25 years, and 3 years ago I came back and I've been happy every day here.
Oh,
so
almost exactly 3 years.
May 13th, yes, is my
there we go.
My third year anniversary.
Your third anniversary in 2 days.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, Steve.
Well, thank you. And to all the commenters, before I came, if I can pimp another YouTuber, I did an interview in 2019 with a guy named Pete at Irish Times. If you go back and look at that big fat American lump in that interview.
That's how I got to know you.
Is it?
Yes. I went, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah. At any rate, in the comments, that thing's got, I think, 200,000 views and 4,000 comments. But in the comments, people said things like, "Oh, this guy's going to join I give him 6 months before he joins the Pattaya Flying Club. Oh, this guy's never going to make it. He won't make it 6 months. He doesn't have enough money. You can't come here and live on your Social Security. He doesn't have enough money. He'll never make it." Well, it's been 3 years, and I'm very, very happy. I've been very happy every day of those 3 years. I've had food to eat and a roof over my head and friends for 3 years. And so all you guys,
so you got 200,000
something like
views
that.
for your interview with
the first one, Pete's interviewed me I think 5 times, but that first one in 2019 where I am enormously fat, and we're out in Benjamin Park, really nice setting. It was a great day. It's a good interview. Pete's a very good interviewer. He's a very solid, centered, calm individual, and he anchors the whole thing, and that allows then his interview subject to get wild and to go off on tangents and know that Pete will draw him back to center. He's a really good interviewer, unschooled, untrained, but just a natural talent for it.
Well, the interview he did with me only got 50,000 views, so
there you go.
You're winning.
Yeah.
You're 4 times more popular than me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have a go trying to describe what this vibe is. What is it? Why do we love Thailand?
I don't know. I suppose other places have beaches, other places have golf, other places have great weather. Again, I'm not qualified because I'm here for very specific reasons that don't have anything to do with the rest of you guys. I promised myself at the airport in 1997 I would come back and retire here. And even if there had been a bloody revolution going on or who knows what, earthquakes, tidal waves, death, doom, disease, I would have come back to Thailand because I had a promise to keep. And it was very important to me. That promise, that dream kept me alive through some very dark years. And it was important to me to realize that goal. So I can't really, whatever this place is, I would have come back here. But I think it is, the people are very welcoming. The culture is very forgiving. You can walk around like an asshole with no shirt on and make an asshole of yourself, and the cops will arrest you. You see it all the time. And they take you into the police station, they sit you down, and they bring you a cup of water, a bottle of water, and they ask you, are you okay? Young, have you eaten yet? It's the most gentle arrest you'll ever see in your life. And I think that's part of it. It's a very gentle, sweet, calm, slow-moving culture.
It is the people, I think, are at the essence of it, and that the smile you get from the lady making the banana pancake that's going to put on 2,500 calories.
And granted, often that smile is simply a mask. Often that smile is simply what they've been trained. But even so, it's nice to be greeted with a smile. That's why they're all trained from childhood. That's why your relationship is reinforced with every utterance. You say krap or ka with every word you speak. So you're saying to this person you're speaking to, we are equals. We are on good terms in this moment. And I'm speaking to you as an equal. With every sentence, you're reinforcing that and saying, Tim, we're friends. Tim, we're friends. Every time you speak, whatever you say, do you want coffee? Tim, we're friends.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
And it creates a very, very calm, peaceful kind of atmosphere, which is changing. It's becoming more westernized every day. And now with social media, we see all these videos of people acting badly, both Thais and PHANG and Burmese and Khmer and Lao. Everybody, when they act badly, it becomes viral. And so there's a lot more of that Western aggression and misplaced anxiety or nebulous, uncentered anxiety. But I think there's still a lot of really good feeling here, and I appreciate it every day.
Yeah, there's plenty of that old Thailand when you're happy to recognise it when you see it, and maybe you need to look out for it a little bit more. You need to just keep the rose-coloured glasses on a little bit longer than maybe you did in the past.
Or choose to live in a place where it is still present. You know, I think if you...
It's not going to be soy 6 in Pattaya.
No, and you know, I've told you, I have to go to Phuket here real soon. I've run out of turtle toys. And the last place to go look for them is Patong Beach. I figure that's going to be the mother lode. If there is a place where beach toys are sold, it's going to be Patong Beach. I've shopped out Kata, I've shopped out Chalong, I've shopped out Rawai. So I have to go down to Phuket. And I think, in my experience, you meet it a lot less. That wonderful Thailand Sabai Sabai, you meet it a lot less on Patong Beach than you do here on Turtle Beach. So.
And my next topic is, speaking of which, culturally, when you are older, you often are referred to, and this is not just Thailand, this is sort of a bit of an Asian thing, but you're referred to as uncle or auntie. When you're an older male, you're an uncle. When you're an older female, you get to be called auntie. But there is a bit of a push, and from the Department of, the Ministry of the Interior, they're instructing their staff to stop referring to older males and females as uncle and auntie, and refer to them as
kun, just kun, I suppose. I didn't see it, but I would guess.
Yeah. So, what is this political correctness invading Thailand?
I don't know. I know that every politician still begins every speech with Pinong, Pinong, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters. And I'm called Lung Phai Chak, Uncle Cigarette Lighter here in this village. I don't know. I did not see that piece, but that would be a diminishment, I think, of that Thai friendliness we were just talking about. I think addressing each other as brother and sister, uncle and aunt, ma, any old woman you address as ma, mother, I think that's a wonderful, charming part of this culture, and it would be a shame, I think, to see it go.
Whenever you ask anybody for anything here in Thailand, they've always got a brother or a cousin who has got a block of land or can do that building for you, or tiling, or come and do your garden. And they're not actual brothers or cousins. They're brothers sort of if they're close friends, and they're cousins if they're not quite as close as brothers. But they're sort of using, they're not relatives at all in many cases, but they get referred to as...
When you're intimate, you use the familial terms. Anybody that you're friends with, you'll call P or Nong, elder brother, elder sister. And listen, when that girl you met in the bar takes you up country to Pitsanulok or Yasuton, someplace where she thinks you won't notice there are prettier women in the world, and she gets you to buy the land for her family, she gets you to buy the pickup truck, she gets you to build the house, and at the next family ceremony she introduces you to a good-looking man her age who she calls brother.
Yes.
This is my brother. Well, remember that wives call their husband's brother, elder brother, P, and this might be a husband, this might be the childhood boyfriend she had a baby with when she was 14, and she's still in love with him. That's the only man she'll ever have in her heart. She calls him brother, and she'll introduce you to him as brother, but that's the love of her life, or that's her husband, whatever. So, just be aware the word brother and sister don't mean perhaps blood relative.
I'm off to Penang again next week to continue this saga of a new visa. But my agent down there, all the agents are from India for some reason. And he loves calling me brother. He's probably about the same age as me, looks a little bit weathered around the edges, but he just keeps on calling me brother. And it does sort of grind at me a bit. And I'm trying to educate him to call me Tim.
But I wish you luck on that.
Okay, brother, no problem.
He probably talks to 20 Phulang every day and can't remember all the names.
They're all brother.
They're all brother. Yeah. Every man who walks in a bar is named Tirak, because they can't remember your name. They're not going to remember your name, and you can be with this woman for 10 years. She'll still call you Tirak because she can't pronounce Steve.
The Sativ.
Satip.
So the only thing slightly worse than brother is bro. If you are talking to me, somebody was talking to me the other day, say, "Hey, bro, just relax." I go, "Really? Don't call me bro."
You can call me bro.
Now everybody's going to be sending comments going, "Hey, bro, just relax."
And dude is not a pejorative.
Dude's okay.
But some people like and some people don't.
A bro doesn't do it for me at all. We're going to get to your Steve got it wrong very soon, because that will be, as usual, the longest segment in the program. You recall the show White Lotus, The White Lotus.
I remember dimly seeing it at some point, yes.
So we don't know where the next White Lotus, somebody says it's going to be in Australia. So,
okay.
But the first White Lotus was shot in Hawaii, and the hotel manager was an Australian. He got up to a few nefarious things. So I'm not sure if they're going to go back to Australia, but that would be good. Anyway, everybody predicted the White Lotus boom. In other words, people are going to be booking to come to Samui and Phuket because all the locations that were used in the filming. It hasn't transpired. So apart from the Four Seasons in Samui getting a lot of bookings, 300,000 or 400,000 baht a night, thank you very much. I wish I could get that for my beach houses. The actual tourist boom and people flocking to have a White Lotus experience hasn't happened. So what happened, Steve?
I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. We should make a movie on Turtle Beach and feature your beach houses.
Yeah.
Let's do
Murder
the Turtle
mysteries.
Beach. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think between the two of us, we could come up with a script.
Moiter on Turtle Beach.
I don't know. Perhaps it's the fact that everybody knows Thailand already. We're not like Sicily. The second series was shot in Sicily. I haven't seen it, but they experienced a boom afterwards. Yeah, because who thinks of Sicily as a holiday vacation, as a holiday destination? I think that introduced Sicily to a new market. everybody on earth has heard of Thailand. Everybody on earth has seen the beach. Everybody on earth knows what there is in Thailand. I don't know who they would be introducing Thailand to, but I personally, I wouldn't stay in any hotel that allows monkeys on the grounds. Are you insane? And I'm sure the hotels in Samui don't, but in the show they did. They had monkeys running around the hotel rooms. No, that made it very unattractive to me. I wouldn't stay there. Oh,
I don't think there were any monkeys in the hotel rooms. There were monkeys in the trees.
they're running around the rooms.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
not in the rooms.
Not inside.
Yeah, the
yes.
preposition is around. So yeah, I thought that bit of that hotel, and
You
the
thought
rest
the
of
monkeys
it,
did it, didn't you?
No, I thought that she would be shooting at monkeys. I thought of all the plants and points in it, I thought the fact that the black woman was terrified of these monkeys meant that she would start shooting at them if she saw a gun, that she was terrified of these monkeys, as I would too. I'd love to shoot a monkey. No, I'd pay money to shoot a monkey. They're horrible. They're horrible, horrible animals. I don't know why human beings allow them around. We should have wiped them off the planet many, like the troglodytes and the Neanderthals. Why didn't we wipe out the monkeys? But at any rate, I don't know why there's been no boom. Maybe because of the monsoons, and next year there will be the boom. Maybe nobody's making their reservations for now.
They're all going to Vietnam and Philippines.
Yeah, I don't.
Apparently,
I don't know.
Another one that came up yesterday when I was talking about retiring around the region, and this is often talked about, is the issue of insurance. For example, if you are applying for an O visa, this is the geezer visa, the retirement visa. If you apply for it from outside of Thailand, you are required, as a part of the visa, to have health insurance, and usually provided by Thai companies, and not much variation, and not really providing what a lot of the people want. If you are inside Thailand and you apply for that visa, you're not required to have health insurance. But as I noted, there are many people in Thailand who don't have health insurance. And I think if you are coming to Thailand, I would advise that you do your best to try and have health insurance, but you basically self-insure.
Yeah, I believe in health insurance, at least in a system like America where it's for profit. If you're not going to do the logical thing and simply provide health care for your people as you do education and roads and bridges, then the next best thing is insurance. But I can't afford it here. I've had a couple heart attacks. No insurance company is going to provide me insurance that I can afford. So no, I have been self-funding, and I had a hernia operation here. It was 10,000 baht. Great,
amazing,
great operation, and so that's what I'm doing. And that is probably not the best solution, but it is the best solution available to me at the current time. But other than that, I Blue Cross Blue Shield. I had some fairly expensive. I've got 7 stents in my coronary arteries. I had some fairly expensive procedures done. Modern medicine saved my life 4 times, and I'm very, very happy. And Blue Cross Blue Shield paid for all of that. I was very, very happy to have very, very good insurance for me and my children in the States. But that's just not available to me here, so I self-fund. Yeah.
And if you do the numbers, you can put the monies that you'd pay an insurance company into another bank account or something, and self-fund. But you're going to have to be very disciplined about it. Yeah. But it is definitely an alternative. I should get the spreadsheet out one day and see if we can do some comparisons.
And the best insurance you can have is take care of yourself. Eat right, sleep right, don't abuse drugs too much.
So how are you going in that department?
Well, I've cut down on the cannabis very much.
Really?
Oh God, yes.
Because of the expense or because of the health?
Oh God, no, I don't pay for pot. My viewers send me, I've got bags and bags of really nice pot.
They send me cherry ripes and they send you
They
cannabis.
send me weed. Coffee and weed. My viewers send me coffee and weed, which is very, very much appreciated.
Drug dealers.
But no, I got bronchitis and was coughing a lot, and I still consume the way I did when I was 15, which is smoke it out of a pipe with no filter, no bong water, nothing. I just smoke it out of a pipe. And I was, since retirement, smoking all day long. And gave myself bronchitis, and it was either quit smoking cigarettes or cut down on the pot. So I cut down on the pot.
How are you going with the cigarettes?
Oh, a pack a day.
Right.
Doing great.
Okay.
Smoking the shit out of those cigarettes.
So how are you? So you got less THC flowing through your bloodstream.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm much more perky.
Really?
Yeah. I still use it to sleep. Before I go to sleep,
Really?
I'll have a quarter of a brownie. I make my own brownies. Because some of the pot that people bring me is not very good, so I'm not going to smoke it, but I'll make edibles out of it. And you know that, well, you don't know. There's a type of cannabis sold here which is in brick form. It's pressed, compressed, and it's been around forever. It's how they used to sell it 30 years ago, and we were very happy to get it 30 years ago. Now it's crap. Now they give it away, literally give it away at the stores for free. And people who don't know anything about cannabis, you know, people who don't know anything about coffee bring me Nescafe instant coffee, and it's sweet. I really appreciate it, you guys. You're wonderful, lovely people, but I don't drink Nescafe. And I don't smoke shit weed. Not now, not in this environment. God, there's great weed just literally falling off the trees. It's dirt cheap online. Don't go to the dispensaries, the tourist places. But at any rate, people bring me this substandard weed, and I'll make edibles out of it. And I use that to sleep. It's still very, very helpful to sleep. My bladder will wake me up 5 times in a night. And if I have a quarter of a brownie before I go to sleep, that 5 becomes 2. Much more livable.
Can we actually talk? Well, by the way, we're not this channel is not promoting the use of any particular drug, and if you just seek medical advice.
Sure.
Have I said enough?
Ask your doctor.
Yeah, ask your doctor. Yeah. And he'll probably be the person that sells it as well. So, a question about bladders. As we get older, many of us will find that we're getting up more often. Mm-hmm. And that is just something, it's our prostate.
In my case, it certainly was, and I think in many men's cases. And I think
that's right, because you've had it removed.
No, enucleated. I had my prostate enucleated. They scooped it out like a melon ball. So the artery and nerve that control erection and ejaculation are still intact. All of that is still intact. It's just bone dry. I don't produce nam puchai anymore.
Okay, good.
Which women appreciate. It's very clean. They really like that. Yeah. And less chance of disease going in both directions.
So your prostate isn't enlarging, causing
Not anymore.
The pressure on the urethra,
Not
which
anymore.
means...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still... Well, I'm just getting older, and I'm getting up more often at night, and I'm sort of having to face either taking some sort of drugs to make the situation better, or seeking some sort of medical intervention. There are quite a few, but none of them are particularly palatable. So I'm in that period of just, or I'll just cope with it. But I am getting up at night a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know why. You know, I don't have pressure from my BPH anymore on my bladder, but I still get up unmedicated. I'll still get up 5 times a night. I don't know if it's habit or if there's some other condition that is triggering this, or it's anxiety, or I don't know. But with a brownie, it's twice, and without a brownie, it's 5 times. So.
Okay. I'm sort of done topic-wise, so it's now time, ladies and gentlemen, to go to your favourite segment, Steve Got It Wrong.
Norel's Notebook.
Thank you very much to Norel.
Well, there's other stuff. It's not just Steve Got It Wrong. I know that's a very popular segment, but we will begin with this. I got 2 more letters, and people say I should black out people's return. Oh, this one doesn't have a return address.
There you go.
And this one from Vietnam. We're doing an experiment, if you don't know. From outside of Thailand, I can get mail addressed to Steve Ross, Turtle Beach, Thai Muang, Thailand. Just that. No province, no zip code, nothing. Just Steve Ross, Turtle Beach, Phang, Thailand. No street address.
There you go.
Yeah, Turtle Beach, Thai Muang. And so 2 more have come in this week. It doesn't work inside Thailand. Inside Thailand, they will bring it back to you and say, put a street address on there, put a number down there, and put Steve's telephone number. Since you've made us come back to you with this, put his telephone number, so if we can't find him, we can call him. But if it comes in from outside of Thailand, they bear with it, and they bring it to my door. And I'm very, very happy with that.
I want to go and see this. This is in Vietnam.
It's called the Golden Bridge, I think.
Yeah.
In Vietnam.
A lot of these walkways showing up all over the place.
So thank you. Oh, and this one has a sea turtle stamp. That was a nice touch. And I might as well mention her name since I've got it. Richard Mortimer. This is from Richard Mortimer.
This one's from Susan.
From Susan. So thank you, Richard, and thank you, Susan. And the experiment continues. If you're outside of Thailand, give it a shot. If you're inside of Thailand, I think it's not worth it. They'll just bring it back to you. All right, what else? I have started to encounter, so on the beach, right, almost every morning.
This better be good.
I'll find,
all the drama.
I'm going to talk whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
I find a lot of water bottles, right? Well, all kinds of product bottles, but a lot of water bottles. These water bottles are collected by my neighbors and sold to the recycle man. So I don't pick up those bottles, but if they've got a colorful cap, I'll unscrew the cap and take that and drop the bottle back on the beach for my neighbors, right? I have discovered now that they're attaching that cap to the ring. So it stays attached to the bottle. Now this adds 2 steps to my collection of these bottle caps. I use the bottle caps in mosaics, and they're really bright and colorful, and everything I make has to be bright and colorful. So I'll collect 100 bottle caps in the morning off the beach. Now I have to tear them off the bottle on the beach. That's one step. And when I get home, I have to cut that little tab that's left on the bottle cap. It's adding 2 steps to my process. But it's also, I'm an environmentalist, I think. I'm concerned about the ecology and the environment. I don't know what this is helping. This can't be for the purposes of environmentalism, because you're throwing the same amount of carbon in the garbage, in the landfill or in the ocean, as you would be, whether it went in 2 pieces or 1 piece attached to each other. I don't know what this is saving in terms of the environment, what it's helping. And here's an interesting thing.
Well, that'd be good.
About 10%, we have as human beings a compulsion to screw the cap back on an empty bottle before we throw it away. We do this. About 90% of the bottles I find on the beach are empty, but they have the cap screwed back on. And about 10% of those bottles have a different colored cap than the ring. We are finding dissociated caps and screwing them on empty bottles to throw the bottle away.
How can we go on?
Well, I don't know if we can go on, but I think that's an interesting bit of human psychology. We all have this compulsion to put that cap back on before we throw it away. And so why? What is attaching physically the cap to the ring? What is that saving?
When
what
you
is
say
that helping?
We have this compulsion, I don't think I personally share that compulsion with you.
Okay.
I don't feel the need to screw tops back on bottles.
Well, that is one bit of anecdotal evidence. On the other hand, I pick up probably 100 bottle caps off the beach every day, and 90% of those are screwed onto the bottle. So there you go. That's,
right.
that is prima facie.
So
here's
another
a good
one. Oh, here's a good one.
You mentioned last week
Right.
that when you were a kid, you watched a show called Shintaro the Samurai.
Yes.
YouTube immediately started offering me old episodes in black and white of Shintaro the Samurai. They're listening. Big Brother is listening to this and trying to sell us shit based on what we say. That's frightening to me.
So did you watch Shintaro the Samurai?
I watched an episode called The Stolen Case. And I like everything about it. It's very mannered, very Japanese, very underspoken, understated. The fight scenes are choreographed horribly, unfortunately. The fight scenes are not what we're used to.
But that's what we liked
now.
about it.
I guess. It's goofy, it's silly, it's fun.
And the dubbing is
Yes.
really bad.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, I thought it was interesting. The machine with nothing more, no more prompt than the fact that we mentioned it once in this show, and immediately the next week the machine's feeding that to me.
So is that because you played Grumpy Old Men on your computer, and your computer's going, just hearing all these different things, and it's then sending you,
I guess,
those algorithm prompts?
Let's see, if I say Buffy the Vampire Slayer nudes. Let's see what I get. All right. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Oh my God.
Lisa topless.
La Lisa.
Did you see La Lisa at the Met Gala?
I saw a photo, I think.
She was fabulous.
Sure.
She really looked pretty.
Yeah, she's a goddess, yes.
The Met Gala, who are now in trouble because they didn't invite the President of the United States, and he's very upset.
He'd wear the same stupid suit. What? He's not going to dress up.
The blue suit with the red tie.
He's not going to dress up. Why invite somebody who's not camera ready?
But he's not happy. So yeah, what else we got?
I had mentioned that I don't eat out of 7-Eleven. I don't think I've ever bought food at 7-Eleven. I go there to pay my bills. That's what I use, and I have bought cigarettes at 7-Eleven. And somebody said, "Well, where do you go for just a few items? Some dim, dusty mom and pop store?" Yeah, that's kind of the point, dude. I had 7-Elevens in New Mexico. I didn't dream for 25 years of shopping at 7-Eleven. I dreamed of shopping in dim, dusty mom and pop stores. And being seen in this community spending my money at my neighbor's stores is really valuable. So yeah, dude.
Well, apart from the fact that it's just around the corner and you have to get on your scooter to go to 7-Eleven.
Yes, that's true. I don't like to drive. Yeah.
What do I buy at 7-Eleven? Oh, I buy soda water. That's my...
Okay.
I drink a lot of soda water. And there is one pre-prepared meal I like that they have, which is an Indian sort of buttered chicken. That's really nice. Otherwise, no, I buy my milk there. Can you get your milk at the mum and pop shop?
No, but there's a Lotus. If I need milk or bread, if I need PHANG food, I'll go to the Lotus. And if I need PHANG food the Lotus doesn't have, I'll drive to Phang City.
Oh.
Oatmeal and raisins. There's no place in Thailand, not even 7-Eleven, that sells oatmeal and raisins. And on a cold, rainy morning, I like oatmeal with raisins, butter, cinnamon, brown sugar.
The other thing they do is they're round. It's like, I think it's called chocolate mud cake.
Oh right, you talked about
and
that.
They're to die for. And they're 45 baht, and they're worth every single baht. And it's not the number of calories, that's the cost. But when you go to all the high-so restaurants, all the 5-star restaurants, you'll see if you order a chocolate mud surprise or whatever they might call it, it'll have this 7-Eleven thing. They heat it up for about 10 seconds in the microwave and add some ice cream and charge you 450 baht. Same thing. But,
yay, capitalism.
They are magnificent.
Oh,
this pause is brought to you.
So some guy on a video, the title of his video was, "Living in Pattaya on a budget sounds easy." No, not at all. Living in Pattaya is like living in Beverly Hills on a budget. It's probably the most expensive place in Thailand you could choose to live. That's a very poorly worded.
Well, it depends where in Pattaya. If you're living outside away from the sea, and away from sort of the beach road, it does get a little bit cheap. It's like in Phuket. You can live very cheaply in Phuket if you want to.
Right, if you want to. But the sentence, "living on a budget in Pattaya sounds easy."
But it's not.
It doesn't. It doesn't sound easy, dude. Living in Turtle Beach on a budget, that sounds easy. Living in Phitsanulok or Yasothon on a budget, that sounds easy. Living in Pattaya on a budget does not sound easy. It's just a poor word choice, dude.
You've reminded
Didn't watch
me.
the video. Didn't watch. I never watched the videos.
Yasothon. something's on in Yasothon at the moment.
The Rocket Festival?
Yes, I don't. I think it's this weekend.
What's it? The movie Rocket Angels? Funny movie. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on YouTube. Rocket Angels, I think they're called. About a gang of guitoys who enters the Rocket Festival and they build a rocket. And it's just the funniest thing. But it's not a gang of guitoys. The conceit in the movie is this is a gang of high school girls who've joined because they're not allowed to dance in the dance competition. So they registered too late. So instead they build a rocket. So it's all these 40-year-old men playing 13 and 14-year-old high school girls. It is the funniest thing you'll ever see. It's just a riot.
Rocket Angels.
Rocket Angels.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's
Google's given me some more prompts, like things like, what is the purpose of the Rocket Festival? Drinking, basically.
Yeah, and blowing shit up.
Yeah. The Rocket Festival, a lot up in the Isan region, up along the border, Royet, Yasothon, Loy, and they get 6-inch PVC pipes, plastic pipes, and they fill it full of TNT, nothing to do with this channel, and then they light it. And
what could go wrong?
Hands are lost. But if man didn't go to the moon as a result of all the efforts of NASA in the 1960s, the Yasothon Festival would have done it eventually.
Yeah.
So it is definitely worth watching. And I was just checking whether it's this weekend. I think it is.
I thought it was past. I thought it was last week, but I don't know.
It's during May anyway. And oh my God, it is. I keep on saying I want to go and see it each year, but I've never been able to sort of remember. Bun Bang Thai 2025, 16th of May to the 18th of May. Oh, we could do the show there next week.
You could.
Well, we can't do it next weekend though, because Eurovision.
Oh, sure, yes. Oh, well, yes. How could I forget? Yes.
Australia's come up with a song called Milkshake Man, which is very thinly veiled and suggestive. It's a little bit naughty. It's very Eurovision. I think they might do quite well. It's appalling from a musical point of view, but all the imagery and everything, all the Europeans will be going, hoo, hoo, hoo. I think they'll go for it. So Eurovision's next week. You're coming around on Sunday night?
Okay, sure. This is the first time you've invited me, but sure, yeah.
Excuse me, you were there last year.
Yeah, I know. It's been an open invitation. This is the first time you've mentioned a date.
Well, you're there next Sunday night, okay?
All right. I will write you into my calendar.
You've got to send me a reply to my invitation. Thank you. On behalf of my husband today, you have to RSVP.
Something we said last week prompted about 5 people to comment. Steve, why don't you just put it in your Google Calendar? Your Google Calendar. My Google Calendar. I haven't kept a calendar since I quit working. I'm retired. I don't have a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to use a Google Calendar.
I have to say, of all the tools that the internet has provided us to make our lives generally much simpler, the Google Calendar is not one of them. I still have a thing on a wall with dates on it, which I sort of write things on. The Google Calendar I find not very, very easy to use. Even my Apple Calendar isn't much better, but it is better.
I have a paper calendar on the wall that I purchased from, what's it called? It's this artist. Oh, what's his name? I'd really love to.
Gauguin?
No, but he's, I think, a Brit in Bangkok, and he does these wonderful watercolor pictures of Bangkok in the snow. And it's got people on the L train, the elevated trains with banks. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful. People ice fishing next to Kotapu, James Bond Island. It's a beautiful calendar. I've never written anything on it. I've never had an appointment to keep. But I like the pictures, and so I hang it on the wall. But yeah, a Google Calendar. I don't know what the hell that is.
What's today's date? Don't look at the
computer. Well, you said the 15th was in a couple days, so I'm going to guess the 12th, 11th, or 12th, or 13th?
It's the 11th.
11th, okay.
Okay.
I know it's May.
All right, one more.
Yeah. One?
One more.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yes. Choices.
Oh,
choices.
well, then I better, let's go to Steve Got It Wrong.
Oh, you got two if you really want.
Okay, so I said last week that the word kamikaze comes from the great storm that swamped a Chinese fleet.
This is the third week we've done kamikaze.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was a Mongol fleet. And apparently there's a difference between Mongols and Chinese. And so Steve got it wrong.
Dear.
Someone asked, yeah, we'll say that for next week.
Okay, yeah.
Are Thai university degrees useless outside of Thailand? Having worked at the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies at the University of Iowa, editing theses and dissertations for Chinese, Korean, and Japanese students, I would say an Asian degree, certainly in the sciences and particularly maths, is way more valuable than a similar degree from the University of Iowa. I think Asian degrees are having worked in academia, coming from an academic family, Asian degrees are perfectly legit in America, at least in Iowa. That's where I've been at. No hap. If they don't want to deal with a PHANG in a store, they'll tell you, no hap, we don't have it. Yeah, it just means
My me.
Yeah, my me. It means I don't want to deal with you, PHANG. Go away. Yeah. Somebody said something in the comments that I'm just going to finish these. Screw your two. Somebody said, in terms of what we know, what each of us knows, we are all standing in an empty warehouse with a very dim light. And I think that's a beautiful turn of phrase. I will never forget that. Thank you, unnamed correspondent, whoever contributed that. We are all standing in an empty warehouse with a very, very dim light.
So everything is too big for us to fully understand.
Yeah.
And we can't really see it, so we can't understand
Right,
it.
yeah. The five guys describing the elephant, right?
Depressing.
Each of us, life is experienced subjectively. All we know, the Buddha says, is brought to us by our five senses, and we know that dogs smell more, cats see more, birds hear more. Every animal has senses that are greater than ours, and all we know of the world is what our five senses bring us. Therefore, what we know is necessarily limited. So don't get all cocky online and tell people, not like I do. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
What?
Yeah.
A-R-A-R-A-R-A-R-A-R-A-R.
Okay.
Yeah. A book recommendation. Tristan Jones. You're a yachty. Do you know Tristan Jones? The books of Tristan Jones?
Yeah.
Sure he does. Yeah. Do you know the books of Steve Ross?
What?
Yeah. Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Tristan Jones was an author, very well known in the yachting community. He was a single-handed sailor, held records for the number of times crossed the Atlantic single-handedly without a motor, just under sail. He wrote his last book. He ended his life on Phuket. Very sad, very destitute, very poor, living off the charity of people who didn't even really like him because he was a pretty nasty, sour old man. He'd had both legs amputated and he lived in a wheelchair.
Oh.
But his last book is about Thailand. It's called To Venture Further. Yep, that's him. And To Venture Further is about taking a longtail boat from Phuket across the Kra Peninsula on the backs of elephants, up the Gulf, up the Chao Phraya, all the way up the Ping to Chiang Mai. Him and a crew of disabled Thai boys, one with one arm, one was blind, one was deaf. I think he had these three Thai boys he was sailing with, and he had no legs. And they took a longtail boat on this enormous journey. It's called To Venture Further. It's the last book he ever wrote. And the guy could write. The guy could tell a story. He was unschooled. He left school in the second grade, but he could really tell a story. And To Venture Further, I recommend that highly. He was a real son of a bitch.
One more.
Oh. Every time I say there was no tsunami damage on Thai Muang Beach, people go on, they Google, where was tsunami damage in Thai Muang? And they say, Steve, look, there was tsunami damage in Thai Muang. All right. Thai Muang Amphe is 600 square kilometers. It's got 50 kilometers of shoreline. There was tsunami damage way down in Nat Toi or way up at Khao Nayat. Not here. Here on our beach, no tsunami damage, okay? Please, stop Googling it and telling me I'm wrong. There was no damage here. This golf course had to resod
Did you just touch the table?
Yes, I'm sorry. This golf course where we're sitting had to resod 2 of its fairways, the ones right up against the water. That was it. That was the only damage here. A little salty sand covered the grass. They stripped the grass. They put new sod down. That was it. There was no death. There was no destruction here on Turtle Beach. Okay.
Yeah. Suffice to say that when it comes to the things that I wake up and worry about every day, the possibility of a tsunami is not even at the bottom of list number 17. I never think about it. Other people seem to think about it and they worry about it, but I don't.
No. People who are not lucky enough to live on a beach and who want to throw rocks at the lucky sons of bitches who live on a beach for 6,000 baht a month.
Don't.
Oh well, you're gonna die in a tsunami. Dude, where do you live? You live in Pattaya. You're going to get hit by a tuk-tuk crossing the street.
Tsunami.
All right, you're going to get. You live in Bangkok. The smog is going to kill you. You live in Chiang Mai. The smoke is going to kill you.
And don't go out on the road anywhere.
Yeah, don't go on the road. No tsunami here. It'll be the cigarettes that kill me. Okay, it's not going to be a tsunami. Whew, that's it. I'm done. Let's go home.
We've got to go to Phuket the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to it.
Yes, I need a ride to Phuket so that I can buy turtle toys.
So I'll drop you off in Phuket, and how are you going to get back?
No, if you drop me at the airport, I'll take the smart bus for 100 baht to Patong Beach. I'll check into a hotel.
Okay.
I'll spend 2 days shopping. I will reverse the process, come back to the airport for 100 baht, and then it's 800 baht for any taxi at the airport to bring you to Turtle Beach. So I'm paying a lot for these turtle toys. I'm paying a lot of money for these turtle toys.
What about Khao Lak? We found some at Khao Lak.
Yes, I have purchased everything in Khao Lak except the
But
great
they would have
big ones.
restocked.
No, I was just up there last week. Believe me, if I can avoid going to Phuket, I will. Sure. I went up to Khao Lak last week. I took a big bag of bottle caps that I don't use. There's a company called Grom Art Toy, GROM, up in Khao Lak.
Right.
And they make souvenirs for tourists out of melted bottle caps off the beach. So the bottle caps that I don't use, I'll periodically take them up there in a bag. And so I went up there for that reason, and I went Khao Lak, I went to Banyang Market, I went everywhere, and the same turtles are there, the great big ones that I only used for the parade. People don't want a great big turtle to put in front of their coffee shop. Nobody's got that kind of space. So I need the smaller turtles. Made for infants, pool toys made for infants.
And there's good
Phuket.
stores down in Nai Han Beach. There's one at the D condo intersection, I know. I know where all the stores are.
But there will be...
Patong, I'm not so sure. If you want to buy a Louis Vuitton handbag, then you'd go to Patong.
Okay, well, I have shopped Kata,
but...
I have shopped Kata, I have shopped Rawai, I have shopped Chalong.
Okay.
And I thought, well, the big commerce center on the island is on Patong Beach. The stores in Phuket town won't sell them because there's no beach there. Nobody's going to go downtown to buy a towel or a bathing suit. So I thought Patong Beach. There's 1 million stores in Patong Beach.
Have you tried
souvenirs.
Lazada?
Yes.
But
I have. No, they sell a particular kind of toy that I can use, and I have 3 of those in process right now.
Okay.
Amazon sells a butt ton of appropriate toys, but it's $35 shipping to get them here from the U.S. So you pay $20 for a toy and
plus tariff.
That's $50 for a toy, a pool toy that I'm going to completely cover with paper mache and cigarette lighters. So yeah, not Amazon.
And with that. It looks like more people are arriving. They're totally confused about these 2 strange men yelling at a laptop.
Steve and one strange man.
And thank you very much. This was Steve Ross. And this was Tim Newton. And this is TNT. Please subscribe to the channel. And it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye. And thank you, Tim. I appreciate it every week. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.